The story starts in 2010 on a remote island where InGen, a bioengineering company, was creating new breeds of dinosaurs. Scientists worked in high-tech labs, blending ancient DNA with modern methods to bring these creatures to life. One day, a candy wrapper fell into the airlock system, causing a malfunction. The doors reset, triggering panic. Employees ran, shouting, while one brave scientist rushed back to close the door manually to prevent dinosaurs from escaping. At the same time, an employee became trapped inside, screaming for help. His colleague hesitated, refusing to open the door. Suddenly, a massive dinosaur appeared, seizing the trapped worker and dragging him away, marking the start of a disaster that would change the world forever. Fast forward to 2027, 32 years later. Most dinosaurs had died due to diseases and climate changes. Humans had lost fascination, and the surviving dinosaurs stayed near the equator, in habitats similar to their ancient environments, strictly off-limits to humans. In New York, Martin was stuck in traffic as a long-necked dinosaur blocked the street. Suddenly, Zora, a hired fighter, slipped into his car, explaining a critical mission. Martin's pharmaceutical company needed dinosaur blood to finish a life-saving heart treatment. Initially hesitant, Zora agreed when Martin offered a substantial payment. They visited museums, closing due to low attendance, where they met Dr. Henry, the scientist who first suggested using dinosaur DNA for medicine. Martin insisted Henry join the mission while Zora would protect him. Henry explained that blood must be collected from the largest dinosaurs, the land giant, the deadly sea predator, and the massive flying predator, alive and unharmed. The mission was risky, but the stakes were immense. The team prepared for the dangerous mission. Zora, Martin, and Dr. Henry were joined by Duncan, an old friend of Zora, who had initially promised help over the phone but hesitated due to fear. Martin convinced him with a large sum of money, and Duncan agreed, guiding them through hidden waterways to avoid government detection. On the way, Henry showed the team his specially designed arrows. These arrows could pierce even the thickest dinosaur skin, collect a blood sample, and automatically retract. However, each arrow could only be used once, so precision was crucial. Meanwhile, Ruben was traveling with his daughters Isabella, Teresa, and Teresa's boyfriend Javier on a boat in the ocean. Something appeared floating in the water. At first, they thought it was a dolphin, but its fins were different. Suddenly, the mysterious creature slammed into the boat and swam away. Ruben investigated, relieved the boat was unharmed, but the creature returned, revealing itself as a mosasaurus, the deadliest sea predator. It nearly capsized the boat, forcing the family to jump into the water. Javier got trapped inside, struggling to open a door, while the girls managed to climb back onto the boat. Using an emergency bag, Javier broke free and surfaced. The family narrowly avoided disaster, and the mosasaurus swam past them, allowing everyone to regroup. The next morning, Henry's team heard the family's distress signal over the radio. Martin and the security chief, Bobby, wanted to ignore it, but Zora insisted on helping. Duncan agreed and changed their course to rescue the family. Soon, Ruben's family was spotted from a distance. Using flares, they signaled their location. The team quickly reached them, and everyone began to understand the dangerous unpredictability of the sea predator. Zora wondered why the mosasaurus attacked a random boat, and Henry suspected it might have seen the vessel as a threat. The team continued their journey, moving carefully through the river and marshlands. Teresa swam across to retrieve a boat on the other side, but discovered a half-eaten dinosaur carcass instead. Suddenly, a Dilophosaurus jumped out and roared, frightened by a nearby Tyrannosaurus Rex hiding in the bushes. Teresa quickly moved into the shed, where a swarm of bats suddenly took flight. She found an emergency raft inside a bag, deflated but usable. Meanwhile, Dolores, the small aqualops the family had found, wandered off. Isabella tossed some food to keep her nearby, naming her and carrying her along in the backpack. The family proceeded slowly because Reuben had injured his leg during the earlier escape. As they walked, they reached a steep slope and slipped down toward the river. Reuben noticed a strange smell, causing Dolores to panic and run ahead. Across the river, they spotted an old abandoned shed, where Teresa swam to check for supplies. The raft was intact, but the danger was not over. When Teresa inflated the raft, the noise awakened a nearby T-Rex. She quickly climbed in and paddled to reach the family safely. Everyone got on the raft, leaving Dolores behind temporarily. The T-Rex began chasing them, entering the water to swim after the raft. Swift currents carried Reuben, Teresa, and Javier toward rocks, helping them evade the T-Rex attacks. Isabella got trapped under the raft, with the T-Rex biting and shaking it. She escaped just in time, rejoining her family as the predator eventually gave up. The family managed to catch their breath, knowing the island was full of unpredictable dangers. After hours of climbing and navigating the treacherous riverbanks, Zora's team reached a high cliff. From there, they spotted a Quetzalcoatlus, a massive flying predator, guarding its nest. Their plan was to collect a blood sample from its egg without harming the creature. Eglish, experienced with ropes, descended carefully to reach the nest. Dr. Henry hesitated at first, struggling to overcome his fear of heights, but Zora helped him climb. Duncan managed the ropes above, ensuring the team's safety. A small dinosaur ran by, disappearing into an ancient temple nearby. As Henry began collecting the sample, the parent Quetzalcoatlus returned. The team hid behind pillars, remaining perfectly still to avoid detection. Suddenly, the dinosaur attacked, forcing Henry to grab the sample quickly. The creature accidentally pulled the rope, causing Henry to dangle over the cliff. Zora steadied herself, holding the edge firmly so Henry could climb safely. The blood vial fell momentarily but landed safely thanks to its small parachute. Duncan and Martin continued to pull the ropes from above, alarmed when another Quetzalcoatlus appeared, carrying Eglish's lifeless body in its jaws. The team was horrified, realizing the immense danger surrounding them. Henry finally secured the sample and climbed back, with Zora ensuring everyone's safety. The team paused to catch their breath, knowing that the island was more deadly than they had ever imagined, and that each step forward brought new threats. Meanwhile, Reuben's family continued navigating the dangerous river and jungle. Teresa carried the emergency raft while the injured Reuben struggled to keep pace. Isabella kept Dolores, the small aqualops, safe in her backpack. They were cautious, aware that predators lurked in every corner. Suddenly, they noticed another dinosaur nearby, its roar echoing through the trees. To avoid confrontation, the family changed direction. At night, they made a fire to rest. Javier went to relieve himself, unaware that two velociraptors were silently approaching. A mutant dinosaur attacked, but Javier remained perfectly still, hiding his movements. Once the creature left, he breathed a sigh of relief. The next morning, Zora's team reached a valley, tracking sounds that led them to a herd of Titanosaurus. Two were mating, unaware of the intruders. Henry carefully touched one's leg, moved by the majesty of the creature, while Zora collected the blood sample efficiently. The family slowly moved forward, with Reuben's injured leg causing them to take extra care. Isabella named the small aqualops Dolores and kept her close. As they advanced, they slipped down a slope toward the river. Reuben sensed a strange smell, making Dolores nervous and flee. Across the river, they discovered an abandoned shed, giving them a momentary safe haven and shelter. As the family rested near the shed, Teresa noticed a half-eaten dinosaur carcass nearby. A Dilophosaurus jumped out, roaring, but fled when it sensed a nearby Tyrannosaurus rex. Teresa quietly entered the shed, where a swarm of bats took flight, startling her. She found an emergency raft in a bag, deflated but usable. Meanwhile, Zora's team carefully moved through the jungle. Henry prepared to take blood samples from the dinosaurs while Eglish managed the ropes for safety. The Quetzalcoatl's parent returned to its nest, prompting the team to hide behind sturdy pillars. A sudden attack caused Henry to dangle over the cliff, but Zora held firmly, allowing him to climb safely. The blood vial, equipped with a small parachute, landed safely. Duncan and Martin pulled the rope steadily from above, although panic arose when another Quetzalcoatlus appeared, carrying Eglish's body. Henry finally secured the sample, and Zora ensured the team remained safe. Both groups realized the island's dangers were far from over. Every step brought unpredictable threats, and survival depended on caution, quick thinking, and teamwork. The intensity of their journey reminded them that the prehistoric creatures they faced were not just ancient. They were perfectly adapted to dominate their world. The family continued their journey through the river and jungle, carefully avoiding the dangerous predators. Reuben, with his injured leg, moved slowly, while Isabella kept Dolores close. Teresa paddled the raft across the river, navigating past hidden obstacles, aware that the slightest noise could attract predators. Suddenly, a T-Rex appeared, roaring and chasing the raft. The family paddled quickly as the predator entered the water to pursue them. Swift currents carried Reuben, Teresa, and Javier toward safety near rocks, allowing them to evade the T-Rex's attacks. Isabella had been trapped under the raft but escaped just in time, rejoining her family. Meanwhile, Zora's team reached a high cliff where the massive Quetzalcoatlus nested. Eglish descended carefully with ropes to reach the nest, while Henry fought his fear of heights. Zora guided him down. As they prepared to collect the blood sample, a small dinosaur ran past, disappearing into an ancient temple nearby. The parent Quetzalcoatlus returned. The team hid behind pillars as the dinosaur attacked, forcing Henry to grab the sample quickly. The creature pulled on the rope, causing Henry to dangle over the cliff, but Zora held firmly, securing him. The vial with its parachute landed safely. After securing the Quetzalcoatlus sample, Zora's team prepared to move to the next target. The island's dangers were everywhere, and even small sounds could alert predators. Duncan carefully guided the team through narrow paths, avoiding open spaces where they could be seen. Meanwhile, Reuben's family struggled through the river and marshes. Dolores stayed safe in Isabella's backpack. Teresa paddled skillfully, but the injured Reuben needed extra care. Suddenly, a T-Rex appeared in the water, aggressively chasing the raft. The family paddled with all their strength. Swift currents helped them evade the predator, but the danger was far from over. They reached rocks near the riverbank, catching their breath. Isabella had almost been trapped under the raft, but they pulled her out safely. The family paused briefly to regroup, aware that each step could bring another deadly encounter. Back with Zora's team, the parent Quetzalcoatlus became aggressive as the sample was taken. Henry secured the vial, and Zora ensured the team stayed hidden. Duncan managed the ropes carefully while the Quetzalcoatlus attempted to attack. The team's precision and caution allowed them to escape safely, highlighting the constant risk and intensity of their mission. As the team progressed, the dangers of the island became increasingly clear. Every shadow could hide a predator, and every sound could draw deadly attention. Zora's team moved carefully, keeping close together. Henry carried the collected blood samples, ensuring they were safe. Meanwhile, Reuben's family continued navigating the treacherous river. Teresa skillfully paddled the raft while Reuben and Javier guided it past rocks and currents. Suddenly, the T-Rex returned, leaping into the water and pursuing them relentlessly. The family managed to stay ahead, using the river's bends and rocks to their advantage. Isabella held Dolores tightly, ensuring the small aqualops stayed safe during the chaos. The raft's movement was unpredictable, but the family's coordination kept them afloat. Each moment demanded precision, quick reflexes, and courage. Back with Zora's team, they approached the ancient temple where small dinosaurs darted in and out. Eglish managed the ropes above, while Henry and Zora carefully collected blood samples from a smaller creature, avoiding harm. The constant presence of predators made every action tense. and the team knew that one misstep could be fatal. Ruben's family finally reached calmer waters, but danger was still close. Teresa maneuvered the raft carefully, avoiding submerged rocks. The T-Rex, undeterred, pursued them through the water, splashing violently. Ruben, Teresa, and Javier coordinated their paddling, using every ounce of strength to keep ahead of the predator. Isabella kept Dolores safe, ensuring the small aqualops remained calm. The river's current carried them towards safety, but the T-Rex's relentless chase reminded them that the island was unforgiving. Every movement needed precision and quick reflexes. Meanwhile, Zora's team continued their mission. They approached another cliffside, aiming to collect a blood sample from a massive flying dinosaur. Eglish descended carefully with ropes, while Henry followed, overcoming his fear of heights with Zora's guidance. Duncan monitored the ropes above, ready to assist. A small dinosaur darted past, disappearing into an ancient temple. The parent Quetzalcoatlus returned unexpectedly, forcing the team to hide behind sturdy pillars. A sudden attack caused Henry to dangle over the cliff, but Zora's steady grip ensured his safety. The blood vial, equipped with a parachute, landed securely, marking another successful sample collection. The family reached the riverbank, finally gaining a moment of relative safety. Ruben tended to his injured leg while Teresa and Javier secured the raft. Isabella carefully held Dolores, keeping the small aqualops calm. They paused to plan the next move, fully aware that predators could strike at any moment. Suddenly, distant roars echoed through the jungle. The T-Rex had not given up its pursuit, and mutant dinosaurs were reportedly nearby. The family moved cautiously, keeping low and avoiding open spaces. Every sound they made could be detected by the hunting predators. Meanwhile, Zora's team continued their expedition through the cliffside and jungle paths. Henry carefully collected blood samples from the Quetzalcoatlus, ensuring no harm came to the young dinosaurs. Eglish managed the ropes from above, coordinating every movement precisely. The parent Quetzalcoatlus returned unexpectedly, prompting the team to hide behind pillars. Henry's rope slipped during the struggle, but Zora's quick thinking and strong grip ensured his safety. The blood vial, equipped with its small parachute, landed safely, marking another successful collection. The team knew the island's dangers were far from over, and every step required extreme caution and teamwork. After securing the Quetzalcoatlus sample, Zora's team prepared to move toward the next target. Every corner of the island held unpredictable threats. Duncan guided the team carefully along narrow paths, avoiding open spaces where predators could spot them. Henry carried the collected samples, ensuring their safety. Meanwhile, Ruben's family continued navigating the river and marshes. Teresa paddled the raft skillfully while Ruben and Javier guided it past rocks and hidden currents. The T-Rex appeared once again, leaping into the water to chase them. The family's coordination and quick reflexes kept them ahead, but danger was never far away. Isabella kept Dolores secure in her backpack, while the raft's unpredictable movement tested their balance. Each moment demanded precision and alertness. Finally, the family reached calmer waters, catching a brief respite, aware that the island's predators were relentless and that the journey was far from over. Back with Zora's team, they carefully approached another cliffside, ready to collect a blood sample from another massive flying dinosaur. Eglish descended carefully with ropes while Henry followed, guided by Zora. A sudden appearance of the parent Quetzalcoatlus forced them to hide. Quick reflexes ensured the safety of the sample, and the parachute vial landed successfully, marking another victory amidst constant danger. With another successful sample collected, Zora's team cautiously moved forward. The island was filled with lurking dangers, and even the smallest sound could attract predators. Duncan led the team through narrow jungle paths, avoiding open areas where a single misstep could be fatal. Henry carefully carried the blood samples, ensuring they remained secure. Meanwhile, Ruben's family continued their river journey, pushing the raft through strong currents. Teresa paddled with skill and precision, while Ruben and Javier guided the raft past rocks and dangerous sections. The T-Rex appeared once more, charging through the water and roaring loudly. The family had to coordinate perfectly to avoid the predator's attacks. Isabella held Dolores tightly, keeping the small aqualops safe and calm. The unpredictable currents made every move risky, but their teamwork allowed them to stay afloat. Finally, they reached a safer spot near the riverbank, where they paused to catch their breath and plan the next move. Back with Zora's team, they approached a cliff where another massive flying dinosaur nested. Eglish descended carefully, followed by Henry, guided by Zora. A small dinosaur ran past and disappeared into an ancient temple. The parent Quetzalcoatlus returned unexpectedly, forcing the team to hide behind pillars. During the struggle, Henry's rope slipped, but Zora's quick reaction saved him. The blood vial safely landed with its parachute, marking another successful collection. After securing the last sample, Zora's team prepared to exit the dangerous cliffside and move toward extraction. Every step was filled with tension, knowing that predators were close. Duncan carefully guided the ropes while Henry ensured the blood samples were safe. Zora remained alert, watching the surroundings for any sudden attacks. Meanwhile, Ruben's family continued toward the island's old laboratory buildings. Teresa skillfully paddled the raft, while Ruben, Javier, and Isabella kept watch for predators in the water and on the shore. Suddenly, a T-Rex and mutant dinosaurs appeared, forcing the family to react quickly. They used rocks and river bends to evade the attacks, staying coordinated and alert at every moment. Isabella held Dolores tightly, keeping the small aqualops calm as the raft rocked violently. The family finally reached the shoreline and ran toward the abandoned buildings, shouting for help. Zora's team heard their voices and moved to assist. The two groups reunited, combining their knowledge and resources to face the remaining dangers on the island. The mission was far from over, as the island's mutated dinosaurs posed a constant threat. Martin revealed his intentions to take the samples, causing tension among the group. The family and Zora's team prepared for the next challenges, knowing that precise coordination, bravery, and quick thinking would be their only means of survival. The adventure was reaching its climax with danger, suspense, and high stakes awaiting every move.